4 out of 5 Vietnam veterans still report dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, as do many of the troops who served in Iraq and Afghanistan. But there is help for them in the form of a four-legged friend, Pets for Vets. We have the fantastic Hazel down here, who is trying to find some kind of something special down there. We also have Stephen Osteen from Glen Heights. He served in Operation Enduring Freedom. And then we also have, along with Operation Kindness, Lynn Hanley and animal trainer Amber Jester. Amber, actually, is just the one here. Thanks for being here. This is not easy to talk about.
No, it's not.
I've interviewed many a soldier with PTSD, and it is people don't understand how hard it is to adjust back.
Sure.
What has been the hardest part for you?
I think the hardest part for me is being around unfamiliar surroundings and then being out in public with large crowds and things like that. You don't necessarily know what's going on. And it was really difficult when it was just me, but Hazel acts as that social buffer for me. And kind of, we were talking about earlier, she gets me talking about her because who's not going to ask about Hazel?
Oh yeah, no, Hazel is amazing. Hazel is loving my shoes, and she's partying here.
She'll find something under there, and she'll make a home if you let her.
You can chew on my shoes, sweetie. If I could bend over, I bet you. And Amber, how do you pick these animals? They have to have a special touch.
Absolutely. We go to the shelter and we look explicitly for the calmer dogs that are people focused, and then we run them through a series of tests. And the dogs that score the best and do the best in live situations, life environment, are the dogs that we select for the program and start the training with.
So what would be an example of a test that you would give the dog?
A loud noise. How do we react to the loud noise? How do you react to a different looking stranger, somebody with a hat on and maybe a poncho?
Okay, and who pays for this? How is Hazel all on you now, Stephen, or is there do you guys help with the cost? How does this work?
So initially, Pets for Vets helps with the cost of bringing the dog into your home, and then the training and the things that are associated with that, and getting up to you getting the dog. But then after that, it's on you to take the dog for her normal veterinary visits, and then food and whatnot. But we found a good online place that ships really cheap, huh?
Yeah. And you said you need a bigger bed. She sleeps with you. She eats with you. Does she really go everywhere with you?
She goes everywhere I go, and that's what I have her for. So I work in a really small office right down the street, so she goes to work with me every day. She's got a really rough life. She lays there and sleeps all day. So.
Interesting. Are there certain triggers? I know one of the soldiers that impacted me the most was talking about how a Coke can, if he saw a Coke can, because that's the last thing he saw before his Humvee exploded, that triggers, he just cannot see a Coke can. Is there something that triggers you?
Sure. Of course, in North Texas, people are notoriously not good at driving. So when they merge onto the highway and a car's coming at you all of a sudden, that's one of my biggest triggers, I think, in traffic. And she knows that. She sits in the back seat and she can tell when I'm getting agitated or anxious, or my anxiety level's raising, and she'll come in and lick my face, which isn't good if we're going fast down the highway, but
right. It just she relaxes you.
She gets me to come back down to earth and focus on her.
Okay.
And the same thing goes for when we're out in public. I get to be me again, because I don't have to. I guess I don't. I'm just walking the dog, and most of the time people may pay more attention to her, but that's what they're supposed to do.
So it's working.
It definitely, hands down.
Hazel is the best medicine ever.
There are, I think the latest statistics out, there are 22 veterans a day that take their own life.
Wow.
Because they can't find help or they don't get help. And I was well on my way to becoming one of those statistics had it not been for the people at Pets for Vets and Hazel. These people saved my life, and so did she.
Wow, the power of an animal.
They're amazing, better than any prescription medication that you could get.
Well, thank you for your service. We respect you, we appreciate you, and I hope you hear that often, not just on days like today.
No, I just want to bring awareness that there is an organization like this that exists, because there are a lot of veterans in North Texas that don't get help. And if Pets for Vets can help one more, then great.
Well, you've just done it. You may not ever meet that person face to face, but I guarantee you just helped somebody.
Well, I hope it does.
All right. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Hazel, night-night, baby.
Say bye-bye.
You just take a nap, okay? We'll get you some more treats, and we'll be back here on News 8 at 4 right after this.
Thank you.